Oh, shit. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2 is out. I watched it twice. I got some shit to say. What I want to say now, first of all, spoilers, spoiler, 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 spoiler. It was solid. It was solid. I had a good time. Definitely better than the first. So I have this shit split up, right? I think I'm gonna just run through all the characters because I really want to talk about what I like about each character and don't like. And then we're going to go into the fights, and then we're going to talk about the actual story. And then I got another section just straight up of shit that I do not like. And then we got the rapid fires, and then I'm gonna end it. All right, so we got some shit to talk about. I'm the best Mortal Kombat player. I'm the best Scorpion player. I am the best video game player of all time. Check the record. Everybody knows this, bro. I don't need to participate in Evo and all that other shit. I don't need to go to Combo Breaker. I was also a part of the Midway team. I was around for the original Mortal Kombat. Currently, you know, I'm working at NetherRealm Studios. You know, I'm probably the best person to talk about. There's no reason to go to any other review about this fucking movie. I'm the real deal. And yes, I'm going to be I'm going to be that guy. I have to be that guy. Characters. Starting it off with Carl Urban, Johnny Cage. When he was first casted, I was like, okay, could have went with somebody younger, but it's fine. After I watched it, okay, they could have went with somebody younger, but it's alright. Yeah, that's how I feel about him. He's too fucking old to play Johnny Cage. I get what they was going for, the whole washed up Johnny Cage. He's just old. Not that they necessarily have to be. It's just, I like the fact that Liu Kang, Sonya, Jax, and Johnny, they should all be around the same age. And if you're going for the washed up Johnny Cage, I will forever say this, and I don't care, bro. To me, the perfect washed up Johnny Cage, if you ever watched the Mortal Kombat Legacy movies, you've seen Johnny Cage's part. Johnny Cage is a washed up actor in that. They're like reality shows in a way. He goes up to a criminal or whatever, does some you got Cage and beat their ass. It's kind of like Dog the Bounty Hunter in a way. He was trying to do some shit like that, and then it wasn't working. Those movies went out of style. He was trying to get the producers and the writers to sign off on it, and they were just like, yo, like this shit's just not it. And then the writers going up to a girl with that same idea and signed her up for the, they end up going with it, and then Johnny Cage was pissed off and he had kicked the shit out of one of the producers. Dead ass serious? That made me feel for Johnny Cage. He don't has to be old for him to play a washed up Johnny Cage. Washed up actors is washed up actors. It don't matter how old you are. But he does a good job. As far as when it comes to the fights, he does what he needs to do. His accent peeks through. I could have swore when he was talking to Raiden, the motherfucker said, oi, this is not the boys, Carl. Kitana, first of all, Adeline, you know, if you want to talk to me, you know, really have no complaints with Kitana. They went the more Kitana Khan route. I'm fine with that. I already talked about how I like Kitana Khan. If Liu Kang's not beating Shao Kahn or Raiden, Kitana is the one who should be doing that. Kitana in this movie is perfect to me. I have literally no complaints. Sonya, if you've been around on the block, you already know how I feel about Sonya. Sonya's good. I don't have a problem with this Sonya. I think this Sonya is the best of both worlds. She gives you that stuck up attitude, bitchy ass thing that Sonya dumbass always does, but she's funny. You know, she has a personality. She has a heart, and I like that about Sonya. She's not just, I'm military. Me have to be serious at all times because I'm military. She drops the act. She has fun. I like it. Liu Kang is cool. Liu Kang, he does what he needs to do again, like a lot of the characters on here. I feel like Liu Kang in the first movie, he was good. I just expected more from Liu Kang. In the first movie, you didn't get that chosen one vibe. You knew he could fight. It was more Kung Lao getting that chosen one type of treatment. But now, the fight scenes, the move, bro, you took Liu Kang serious in this one. Looks like Liu Kang, sounds like Liu Kang, moves like Liu Kang. That's Liu Kang. Scorpion. This is my favorite character in fiction. So I'm judging this shit very harshly. Actually, I'm judging everything harshly, but this specifically, yes. Hiroyuki Sanada, he's the GOAT, okay? But just like Johnny Cage, the motherfucker old, bro. Scorpion to me, especially this early, since we're only in the second fucking movie and it was the same issue in the first, I need him to be young. I'm sorry, I need him to be young. Hiroyuki Sanada does a perfect Hanzo. He does a peaceful, I got my vengeance, I'm fine, I'm living my life now. But the rage, Scorpion, you need the rage. And I think you need somebody younger to have that, because Scorpion needs to be, my family and clan, all that shit. That is an integral part of Scorpion, is the rage and the ruthlessness behind his punches because he's so fucking mad. But besides that, he's good. He's good. Hiroyuki Sanada does a good Scorpion. It's just having people be old already, you're gonna have to end up changing things. We might have to replace Hanzo, or like, since he's old and this is Hanzo, we're gonna have to retcon it, and it's gonna have to be on some NK1 shit where somebody else is taking up the mantle of Scorpion and it's not Hanzo. No, nobody should be Hanzo but Scorpion. Noob Saibot, there really ain't too much to say about Noob. Literally ripped from MK11. He does good. I'm gonna get to it in a minute, but like, his death wasn't Noob Saibot good. There really ain't too much to say about one thing, because I know that they don't call him Noob Saibot in the movie and they just keep continuing to call him Bihan. I didn't like it at first, but then I remember I saw a Joe Taslim interview and he was saying that in movies they don't really like change it a lot, since they really did go hard on the Bihan in the first movie, to then just not use the Bihan name and just call him Noob Saibot. What I do appreciate, because at least that they did mention multiple times that this is Sub-Zero, so at least if you watch it but you're not familiar with the characters in Noob Saibot and Sub-Zero and the transformation in that, they do kind of spell it out for you. This is Sub-Zero reborn in a different way from the first movie. Shao Kahn is perfect. You hear a little bit of the accent, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind it. This Shao Kahn, he's perfect. He's perfect. He's menacing. He's mean. He's scary. Every time he walks, it's a big ass thump. Sindel, this might be my first negative one. I don't like this Sindel. I don't like it. Her presence doesn't scream queen. She just seems like a background character. Apparently before the tournament even started, she's already a revenant, so I don't know how that happened. You know, you got the opening scene, but then after that, when you see her fight Sonya, she has the black eyes. I don't know. I'm confused about that. She's just a very background ass character. I don't like what they did with the queen, bro. She only uses her scream and not her hair. That's also a big important part of Sindel, is not just the scream but the hair. The first thing you notice about Sindel is the hair, and then after that it's the scream. I don't like this Sindel. I don't like the Sindel. Not a fan. King Jared. This is the first time we saw King Jared. Our first King Jared alive in his prime. I'm fine with it. Good shit, King Jared. King Jared got some hits in. He did what he needed to do. Ooh. Cole Young. Now, I didn't want to talk about the fight scene, but I have to talk about the fight scene. I want to get this shit out the way now. I don't want to wait until later to talk about Cole. First of all, we are smoking Cole Young pack. Fuck Cole. Fuck everything about Cole. We don't care. Now, let's get to the Cole defenders. I'm seeing two different types of things and I want to get to them. The first thing, it's just lazy writing. Build up this character just to destroy him. Instead of just killing the character off, you could have made him important. There's nothing you can do to make Cole important. No matter what you do with this character, he's always going to be a negative part. Always. There is no retconning him to make him positive. This is the best outcome. Let me tell you why. Because for the second thing that I keep hearing, y'all could have brought him back as Kenshi. You know, he can be the next Scorpion. That is the problem. And again, going back to MK1, they did that shit with Scorpion. So I feel for anybody else. So if they did that shit with Kenshi, if they was just like, yo, let's randomly make him Kenshi, ruins the story. You would have had to do a whole bunch of retcons, and then, oh, well, you got to bring in the blind swordsman and the Sento and the souls and all of that. And then he's already a descendant of Scorpion, so that retcons that plot armor. He already has a power. You have to do so much character assassination on Kenshi or Scorpion or whoever you wanted to turn him as to make him work. And it just was not going to work. They like, can bring him back as Ermac. No. If you make Cole Ermac, it messes with Kitana and Sindel's lore. Even though Ermac is a amalgamation of souls, the one who ends up controlling Ermac's body ends up being King Jared. Of course they can change it, but what is better? Kitana and Sindel reconnecting with their father and husband, or bring Cole Young back? What's more important? You can say that Cole Young is one of the souls that's in Ermac, but that's about it. Like, it would just be a cool fact, but I don't want, but as far as that being the identity of him and that being the one who controls Ermac's body, no. I get it, y'all like Louis Tan, and I do too. It really is messed up that Louis Tan just got dealt a bad hand. He deserves to have a chance, especially since He was like casted to play Kung Jin, third season of Mortal Kombat Legacy. It was going to tie into MKX, but then that got scrapped. I really do feel for bro. I feel for Lewis Tan. The only way y'all can do this, if y'all bring back Lewis Tan, everybody just gotta forget about Cole Young, okay? We tell Kenshi's story, but it's Lewis Tan, like the RDJ and Dr. Doom. We know that this was Iron Man, but we just gonna act like this was a completely different character. As far as making Cole somebody else, no. Jade's good. The way that Jade and Kitana's relationship worked, it was literally MK9. I gotta address the elephant in the room, Jade being bald. I was someone who never really cared. I still don't care, but I understand why people are mad. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the thing with Simon McCoy said that they was going to explain why the fuck she's bald, and they didn't. I think it was my hot takes. I talked about how I don't really mind Jade, and then I talked about why Tati Gabrielle is usually always bald or shortcut. I wish they at least went shortcut. I'm not gonna lie. Could have gave her like a pixie cut or some shit. I don't know, but it's fine. Quan Chi. The first time I watched this, I didn't really like Quan Chi. It's just the voice. I don't like the voice, and I know that, you know, it's really nitpicking, but the way characters talk, just that alone is important to me, and I don't like the way Quan Chi talk. He just gives a default bad guy voice. Besides that, I don't have no problem with Quan Chi. You know, he looks like Quan. Shang Tsung's cool. There really ain't too much to say. I mean, he really don't have much shit to do, really. Yeah, that's really about it. Shang is alright. Raiden is an improvement. Again, I just don't like the voice. It's like he's trying to sound intimidating, and I don't think Raiden does that. I think Raiden just speaks like he sounds like a god. Raiden just, I don't know how to explain Raiden's voice in the games, but it's not this. Besides that, I think he's good. I wish they would have utilized Raiden more. He's just, again, that background character. Raiden in MK9 is a big important part. Raiden in MKX is a big important part. MK11, big important part. Shit, even in MK1, a big important part. I don't like Raiden being sidelined like that. I get it. It's a movie. Kano carried the first movie. He again carries the second movie. They did a good job on Kano. This dude is hilarious. Kano is just funny as shit, bro. There really ain't too much to say, except the laser eye. Quan Chi gave him his eye back. It's just a normal eye. And I get Quan Chi's a necromancer, and I thought that shit was cool. He just made an eye out of nothing. I think that would have been a great time to just give him a metal plate, since he literally has no eye at all. That would have made sense to give him a metal plate, but they just went back to the normal eye shit. I don't know why they don't want to do that. Baraka, I like what they did with Baraka. I know some people don't like they made Baraka kind of the dumb funny guy. I don't mind it. And last but not least, Kung Lao. There really ain't too much to say about Kung Lao outside of the fight. He, for a fact, studied. I think more than any other character, he probably studied his ass off, because the hand movement, the fighting pose, and the stances and shit, straight out of Mortal Kombat. That is Kung Lao. The fights, I got some shit to say about this. Shao Kahn versus King Jarrett. I already knew how this one was gonna go. It was a good opener. I knew as soon as I saw Kitana and Jarrett hug, I knew exactly how it was gonna play out. But it was a good fight. Jarrett was getting some hits in. I like that, but he died. Kitana versus Jade. I honestly wasn't going to put this on here. I don't think it was the fight you was supposed to like really sit there and critique and take serious. But the reason why I mention it is because she uses the blue ribbon. I forgot to mention that, but she took the blue ribbon away from her dad, tied it on her hair, and then she uses that same ribbon to practice against Jade. And then we got the Uncaged Fury fight, another one that I don't think I was supposed to, you know, critique and sit there and take serious. One thing I wanted to say though, he threw a spear at the girl. She was about to shoot an RPG at him, and then she dies and still shoots the RPG. The rocket is literally aiming down at him, and he jumps over it, should hit the ground, and then the next shot it somehow goes up and blows up a helicopter. Shit made no sense. Kitana versus Johnny. It was a good fight. When I saw the trailer, I thought that this was a training thing, because I know Kitana's obviously a good guy. She's going to switch sides, and I thought that this was Kitana and Johnny training, but this is actually supposed to be a real fight. But at the same time, Kitana's still holding back. She's not really trying to like hurt or kill bro. Johnny did a little bit, even though he was running, but we're still in the Johnny a bitch phase. Then we get to Sonya and Sindel. This Sindel just It's not a good Sindel. It's just not. I don't think her or the writers or director understand Sindel, to be honest. All Sindel does is scream. I don't like that. She just spamming her scream. Sindel can offer so much more to a fight, and then y'all just make her scream. At least if y'all gonna do that, make Sonya's air jumps bleed or some shit. Like Sonya uses one of the dead bodies to get closer to Sindel. She beats her ass. She uses her energy rings. She blasts a hole through her chest. Thought it was cool. Throws her onto the spike. They did good. One thing I will say, in the games, Sindel is not losing to Sonya out of all people. We already know Sindel's body. Nobody is touching Sindel like that, alright? And I know in MK9, you know, she had the power of Shang Tsung and she had a little bit of an OP boost. Even if she didn't, Sindel is not getting washed by Sonya. I ain't like that outcome. Sonya should have died. And I'm not saying that just because I don't like Sonya. Jax versus Jade, good fight. Some of these fights, there really ain't too much to say because I feel like the intentions behind some of the fights is what really matters. Jax wasn't trying to kill and neither was Jade. I can't take the fight too serious, you feel me? Fight choreography on point. I like that Jax rocking back and forth under Jade's staff to get closer to her. When Jax hit the staff, I thought they was going to explain that in the movie, but it seems like if you hit the staff, Jade gets hurt. I don't remember that from the games. They didn't really explain that. He just hit the staff and she flinched a little bit. Maybe they explained it and I just didn't hear it. I don't know. But the fight was good. The fight was good. You know, Jax won. Tati bad too. Like, I don't care what nobody, oh, she's bald up. Bro, if Tati was in front of y'all, y'all folding. Oh, she's bald eagle. Oh, she's cosplaying Devora. Oh, this is female Baraka. Bro, sign me up, bro. If she's Devora, all right then. Don't play with Tati like that. Cole versus Shao. Oh my god. Bro, first of all, the Deadpool. Oh, the Deadpool. Oh, I was so hyped. I already knew it was gonna happen. There ain't no fucking way you going up against Shao Kahn. I already knew your dumbass was gonna die. This is not Goro. He thought, oh yeah, man, I beat Goro. This is no problem. Nah, Shao Kahn different. Fuck you, Cole. Shao Kahn bodied his ass. Shao Kahn bodied this shit. I'm fine with Cole getting some hits in. What I'm not fine with is people getting the idea that if Shao Kahn didn't get the power from Raiden, he probably would have lost to Cole. I don't like that. This shit should have been easy. Shao Kahn saying like, yo, like I heard that you were descending a scorpion. I'm gonna go ahead and spill that blood too. I forgot to say it when I was talking about Cole, but I'm gonna say it here. As a diehard Scorpion fan, just the fact that Cole Young is a descendant of Scorpion rubs me the wrong way. Just that alone. So imagine if y'all motherfuckers took him and made him a character that's not him. I'm always gonna say that, bro. I support Louis Tan, but fuck Cole. Cole think he this shit. Tried to do a little pose or whatever. Thought he was gonna get his neck slit. Nope. I'm Shao Kahn. I come back, give me the hammer, smash your fucking head in. I'ma push your dead body into the acid. Oh my god. We are smoking Cole Pack. Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. It was the best fight in the whole entire movie. I was hearing people saying that this shit felt like an actual Evo match. It did. This shit felt like an Evo match, bro. I deadass thought I was watching Ninja Killer and Sonic Fox for a second. The blue portal, I don't want to talk too much about the stages, but you know, the blue portal, that shit was clean. Off the fact that these are two real martial artists and you see it in the choreography. Like Kung Lao fighting straight out of MK11. Kung Lao had so many clean ass moments. The fact that he came at Liu Kang, headstand on his hat, him throwing the hat and the hat's going around him as they fighting and Liu Kang has to maneuver and watch out for the hat at all times. Perfect. Perfect. Liu Kang doing the fatality, I thought that was cool. The hat getting stuck in the ground. That fight is how every fight should be. Johnny and Baraka, I think it started off funny. Johnny calling them pussies. It was a good fight. It was funny. You know, you got to see Tarkat in War Camp, them going around, him running around. This really made me think about Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge, because that's pretty much what happens. I had fun. It was a fun fight. Jax, Liu Kang, Sonya versus Shao. This was a good one. Liu Kang, he was doing his thing though. Jax got bodied. We gonna get to that later, but you know, Jax gets bodied. Scorpion versus Noob. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it. It has cool moments for sure. It definitely has cool moments. It didn't end the way that I thought it was going to end. Liu Kang and Shao Kahn, This is another good fight. I like seeing Liu Kang do Liu Kang thing. He keeps kicking the hammer. I don't know why. I think it's cool when he kicks the hammer. There's something I want to say because I didn't really like how it ended, but you know, we're gonna get to that. Kitana versus Shao. Last fight. Kitana locked in. Good job, Kitana. Some people don't like Shao Kahn getting beat by Kitana. This is more personal than like Liu Kang versus Shao or Raiden versus Shao. If Raiden and Liu Kang is not the one killing Shao, then it should be Kitana. Kitana got some hits in. Shao got some hits in. It was good. All right, now I'm gonna run down the story. So, you know, opening scene, King Jared, you know, talking to Kitana. Shao Kahn takes Edenia. We already know how it goes. He kills King Jared. Kitana takes the blue ribbon. Foreshadowing, you get to Johnny Cage being recruited. This whole part, I just always felt like it was rushed. I think the opening scene was paced well. As soon as we get to present day with Kitana and Jade training, all the way down to the tournament starting, the cuts was just like, wait, what? They was plotting on Raiden or some shit. And then we cut the Raiden and then they're immediately getting started on the tournament. And then they're just like, we need one more fighter. And then we cut to Johnny Cage. This is like, damn, what the hell just happened? It seems like they rushed to get everybody fighting. Johnny Cage figuring out that, yo, this is Mortal Kombat. You might die in this shit. Bro, want to go home? This is my first issue. Ko Young, the original character that no one likes, talking about some, fine, we don't need him. Johnny Cage is more important than you. Okay, shut the hell up. Be a background character, bro. If I die, it's for my family because I know what I signed up for. Shut up. And that's foreshadowing. Shut up. Quan Chi, he resurrects Kung Lao and Kano. Quan Chi talking about some, yo, remember who brought you back? Because it wasn't Raiden. Johnny Cage talking to Ed Boon at the bar, W cameo. Then he gets sent to the tournament. Then you got the Kitana and Johnny fight and the Sindel and Sonya fight. Kano gets resurrected. And this shit was hilarious, bro. Kano's not a revenant because he has no soul to corrupt. He laughs and just says, oh, loophole. That shit was hilarious. He instantly starts clowning Quan Chi. Raiden and Johnny Cage, they talk after his fight. You know, he feels bad about Raiden pulled out a bag. Johnny was just like, yo, you got fighting pills? Is that how you get your powers? And then he was just like, bird seeds. I thought that shit was funny. I forgot to talk about King Jared. He got like a necklace for Kitana. If you want to talk to Raiden, you can. So she goes and talks to Raiden, pulls up to Earthrealm and lets them know, yo, my homie Jade in the tournament. You might have to kill her, but don't make her suffer or some shit. Kitana comes back. Jade was spying on her. That was, again, that's MK9. That's MK9, Jade and Kitana. Some people don't like that because they like, oh, well, why is she like this? That's her friend. Even though they're friends, Jade's loyalty lies with Shao Kahn. Like, she's a part of Shao Kahn first before she's a part of Kitana. But she has a real close bond with Kitana, so it just makes her flip-flop. Kung Lao pulls up to the Sky Temple, throws the hat at Raiden, slits his neck open on some shit. Everybody gets transported to the tournament. And Deadly Alliance, they pull up and they fight Sonya and Johnny. They steal the amulet and infuse it with Raiden's power. Noob Saibot comes back from the dead. He's reborn. I didn't like the fact that they kind of rushed him in here because he was dead. And then he came back already up to speed. Okay, I got to get the amulet. You didn't see anybody bring him up to speed. Earthrealm pulls up on the Tarkatan war camp. Kitana gets captured. Sindel's back and she's a revenant still. It would have been cool if she was normal the first time. Her being normal, somehow dying off screen, and then she's a revenant the next time you see her, and then she dies, and then she's still alive, but she's a revenant still. Shao Kahn is threatening to kill her. She's just there. She's just standing there. She's not saying anything. She's just there. Liu Kang and Sonya and Jax, you know, they trying to get the amulet. Shao Kahn pulls up. Stop trying to fight Shao, bro. Especially Jax and Sonya. This is Liu Kang's fight. Jax, I got a note. Jax keeps losing his arms. It's so funny seeing Jax lose his arms. Never been a time when Jax lost his arms and I didn't bust out laughing, bro. Shao Kahn kills Jax. Not gonna lie, I was actually shocked. I did not think Jax was gonna die. Jax dies and Sonya doesn't really mourn him after. She feels upset in the moment, like, oh, you killed my partner, la, la, la. After everything's said and done, no one mentions Jax. And I get it, it was kind of action-packed. There really wasn't time to get that. And I know people are saying the same thing about Cole. Fuck Cole. Then Kano pulls up, clowns Johnny. Yo, I watched all your movies. They all shit. This is to me the funniest line. He goes up to Jax and says, Rock'em Sock'em's dead. That shit, that shit is hilarious, bro. Kano teams up with Earthrealm. Jake talks to Kitana about begging Shao Kahn for forgiveness while, you know, Kitana's all captured. And Kano tells Raiden and Johnny why he's helping. And he says more things, but he's helping out because the way Shao Kahn ruling the realms is sad. I want the good things in life. Like, come on, like, there's good things a part of life. Threesomes, foursomes, Jack and Coke. Just Jack, just Coke. Kano is carrying. Kano carries the humor, bro. He's doing it. Kano and Johnny, they get sent to Netherrealm. They need a guide. They're teleported to Scorpion. Scorpion found peace in hell. Really like that. That's some Hanzo shit to do. Johnny says that they need his help, and then Scorpion says like, nah, like y'all found the wrong person. Kano says, you know, Bihan's alive, or Bihan. Bihan is still talking shit. He's like, yeah, Sub-Zero, the Sub-Zero dude. He killed your whole family or some shit. And then, you know, Scorpion locks in, and then all of a sudden, bro, as soon as he hear Bihan, he like, all right, bro. Then Shang Tsung tells Jade to pull up to the Netherrealm while he go kill Raiden. Liu Kang and Sonya versus Shao. I thought Liu Kang was gonna win this, I'm not gonna lie, but then Liu Kang dies. I'm still confused on what the fuck happened, because he got stabbed through his chest, and I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed. He had said some shit, can't think of it now, but he said something about like Raiden. So I'm thinking, since Shao Kahn has Raiden's power, Shao Kahn can't kill Liu Kang because Liu Kang is a chosen one. He just turned into fire and disappeared. First I'm thinking he gonna come back or some shit, but then by the end of the movie he never shows up, and I'm like, wait, he died? I'm still confused. Katana bodies Shao Kahn. It seems like she did a hybrid of both of her MKX fatalities. After she won, everybody started kneeling, and she was just like, no, we don't kneel, and she was trying to pick everybody back up. That is Katana. She's a perfect Katana. I'm gonna be honest, she's the best Katana we ever got. Not in the games, but live action Katana, yes, she is a perfect live action Katana. Johnny gets the amulet and is stopped by the Shadow, and the Shadow's like, yo, give me the amulet, and he just kicks him off and dies. I don't know what his plan was there. Raiden brings back Johnny, and then Johnny uses his green aura. Kano uses his eye laser on Noob Saibot. Jade uses her magical staff power shit, and then Scorpion uses his fire. Again, I don't like how Noob Saibot dies. I'm gonna get to that, just not yet. Raiden comes back, hit Shang Tsung with a Superman. He should have hit a Ayababa, but it's fine. Hanzo goes back to his happiness. He in the garden smiling at some shit. Jade and Katana, they reunited. I thought that was a little bit rushed. The thing about Jade and Katana's relationship is that Jade, she flip-flops, while Katana, she already knows what she wants to do. She wants to be a good guy. Jade doesn't really fuck with Shao Kahn either. She just knows that this is her job. Similar to Katana, she has to go through her own little story and go through her own little journey to figure out like, yo, I need to be there for my sister. And they didn't really do that. She was captured, she got freed, Katana killed Shao Kahn, and now all of a sudden we back to being friends. Nah, there's some shit you still gotta answer to. Like, even if it was just something as simple as Shao Kahn say some evil shit and then Jade overhears it, because that's what happened in MK9. Jade was spying and realized that, yo, she's on the wrong side. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And they didn't do it. I don't like that. Baraka, the campfire story, I thought it was funny. I didn't think too much of it. It was cool. They're bringing the heroes back using Quan Chi. They're setting up for Mortal Kombat 3 and the end. Now, I got a whole section called Shit I Don't Like. Some of these things are a part of the story beats. I just wanted to talk about them a little bit separately. Noob Saibot dying. I'm not mad about Noob Saibot dying. I'm mad about how he died. Noob Saibot dying by the power of friendship, I don't like that. I think it's dumb. Noob Saibot's not that powerful to where he needs this type of treatment. He's never been that strong. Scorpion can do that on his own. Speaking of Scorpion doing that on his own, my problem with the first movie honestly might be one of the biggest reasons on why I despise Cole Young. I don't like Scorpion not being able to 1v1 his biggest op. It should always be Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. No one else. Cole Young and Scorpion both jumping Sub-Zero. I don't like. Scorpion does not need help. It's personal beef. I don't know what it is with them not letting Scorpion and Noob Saibot or Bihan duke it out. It's always been them. That has never happened in the games. As soon as Kano said, yo, Bihan there, you saw what happened. It's personal. If we're going to get a Mortal Kombat 3, it got to be Kuai Liang, Sub-Zero, and we need the Cyber Initiative. But my thing is, and what I hate about how this MKU has been so far, is that it's rushing and missing certain things that is just important. So what I mean, the main story of MK3, you got that. But then you're also going to have Kuai Liang and the Cyber Initiative if they do go that route. They need more runtime. These Mortal Kombat movies need to be 2-hour, 30-minute movies. I'm gonna be honest, bro. There's story to Mortal Kombat that motherfuckers just don't know, and they're never going to know and never really going to understand because we're rushing this shit already. There's a lot of things that goes with the Cyber Initiative. Kuai Liang and Smoke being opposed to the idea of the Cyber Initiative. We don't know shit about the Lin Kuei. We just know Sub-Zero is a part of the Lin Kuei. That's all we really know about this movie's version of the Lin Kuei. But then we got Cyrax and Sector, and then you got the Grandmaster. You gotta also talk about how Cyrax also not on board with the Cyber Initiative. He was just one of the ones who got forced to turn. And then you also got whatever other characters that they're going to talk about. And it's just always going to result in Mortal Kombat being rushed or certain story beats being skipped over. And I just don't like that. And I know they like to say there's a bunch of Mortal Kombat characters, so you know it's hard to give everybody the chance to shine. I honestly don't believe that. I wish these movies was made by Ed Boon and John Tobias. I know Ed Boon had a say so in how certain shit was, but I don't think he was as hands-on. Hey, I could be wrong. Like I said, I work at NetherRealm Studios. I called in sick that day. I called in sick, and Ed Boon was over there making the movie decisions and shit like that. So I probably missed out, and I didn't really get the chance to talk to him about it, because I told Ed, I was just like, yo, let me watch the movie first, and then I'll get back to you. So I don't know how much influence he really had on it. I'm hearing people talking about Mortal Kombat. They're just like, it's a fight movie. You know, Mortal Kombat, it's not about the story. That's not the important part. And as long as there's fighting, that's all that matters. That's the most uncultured, brain dead takes. Mortal Kombat has so much fucking story, so much that goes overlooked. You can tell Simon McCoy, and even though Ed Boon is a part of it, I know, and the writer, I forgot the writer's name, you can tell they only know surface level shit about Mortal Kombat. Everything that was in this movie was surface level, bro. I can tell that they don't know enough shit. I see it! Ed, let me be the writer! When Mortal Kombat was in development, I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat 11 was the most recent game. So that's why they're taking most of their inspiration from the most recent game. Imagine if Mortal Kombat 1, imagine if that was the most recent Mortal Kombat and they was using inspiration from that game. Imagine. That's why it's important for you to go to all the stories, not just the recent. The story is definitely the weakest point in the whole entire movie. Most people, like casual audiences, fine, because Mortal Kombat is just about the fights. It's a fighting game. As long as we see the fatalities and characters do special moves, that's all that matters. The lore of Mortal Kombat is just as important as literally anything else. These same people that saying this shit about this, imagine if it was like Spider-Man or some shit. Y'all don't want Spider-Man or X-Men or any of these fucking superheroes to be surface level. Oh, bro, it's just a superhero movie. Y'all would be pissed off because y'all know not just about action and fighting. There's a whole bunch of things that goes into a superhero movie, but nobody gives Mortal Kombat that type of fucking treatment. Mortal Kombat has so much rich lore that people overlook because they don't know, or they just don't think it's important because it's a fighting game, bro. That's all that matters. Shang Tsung should have been in the tournament. Shang Tsung is also a fighter. He also participates in the tournament. We should have got a Liu Kang Shang Tsung fight. And I get it, you got the older Shang Tsung, but you can do something with that. Once Shang Tsung is a part of the tournament, he gets younger. So they could have just had another actor play young Shang Tsung. Now, rapid fire. Johnny Cage being dazed after Kitana beats his ass. Shao Kahn says finish him, and then he just falls over because Kitana didn't kill him. I like that, understood the reference, thought it was funny. F-bombs. There is a lot of F-bombs in here. I like that. I've always thought that about Mortal Kombat. We can show all this blood and gore and violence, but for some reason, we don't like to say fuck. Let the characters say fuck now and then, especially the characters where it makes sense. Jack, Sonya, and Johnny, they should be letting them Fs fly. They didn't mention Arcana. As far as what I remember, the 2 times I watched it, they didn't say shit about Arcana. They alluded to it like, oh, you didn't get your powers or didn't unlock your powers, but they don't say Arcana. I'm glad. Don't ever say that dumbass word. Ko Young dies. Again, I know I said it, but we gotta celebrate. The fatalities, I thought, even though they wasn't over the top, they was gruesome enough. With Sonya hitting Sindel with a blast, you see parts of her rib cage, shit like that. That's Mortal Kombat. Jax's death, again, the deaths are not over the top. It's gruesome enough to get the point across. Ko Young, when Ko Young dies, I'm happy. I like the way he died. Only thing I don't like is that I wish that they would have showed his skeleton. If you're going to do the Deadpool and you're going to throw him in the acid, the skeleton has to pop back up. King Jarrett, his death was gruesome. Fingers cut off, stabbed in the chest. I think I like Kung Lao's death the most just because how he died in the story of it, dying by your own weapon, staring at your best friend. I thought the tournament was weird. I don't dislike it, but I just like an actual tournament. Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung sitting there, they're telling you fight. I like that instead of them just being transported to a random place and then they fight. It still gets the point across. It's still a tournament. It still does its job, but I just wish we had like an actual traditional Mortal Kombat tournament. The stages, Deadpool, Blue Portal, Pit, I like them all. Actually, no, I take that back. The Pit, it wasn't my pit. It wasn't the pit. It seemed like a variation of it. It's okay though. Blue Portal, that looked perfect. I wish they would have did the red more. I feel like they should have just did half and half. The first half of the fight be blue and like the second half be red. But it's alright. It's alright. Ed Boon cameo. I like that. They need to continue to do it. Ed Boon cameo. Go ahead and put John Tobias in there because he is another important part of Mortal Kombat. Kitana and Sindel's relationship. I think I brushed on it a little bit, but it's really Sindel's character, not Kitana. You don't get that motherly love or motherly anything. And I know that she's a revenant. Even on Kitana's part, she don't mention her mom at all. It's only when Shao Kahn threatens to kill her after Kitana betrays him, when she's like, oh, my mom. You don't really get that motherly daughterly relationship, or you don't know how Kitana feels about her mom at all the whole movie outside of that moment. No Liu Kang Kitana relationship. That is the main relationship in Mortal Kombat history. And you know, it seemed like they probably not gonna do it. Nobody has any romance in the whole entire shit. And again, that's my shit that I'm talking about. There's certain story beats that you need because it's a part of Mortal Kombat. And of course you can do that later down the line. Y'all could at least hinted at it, at least hint that they like each other. They didn't have to have a full-blown relationship. They could have flirted. They could have did something. They didn't even talk to each other. In the Deadly Alliance, I know when this movie was first coming out in the trailers and shit like that, we were seeing Shang Tsung and Quan Chi together and we was like, oh shit, they doing the Deadly Alliance. No, they're not doing the Deadly Alliance. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi are dick riding Shao Kahn, and this is it. I had to go in depth. It would be a disservice to myself and everyone watching if the biggest Mortal Kombat dick rider didn't make a long ass video about Mortal Kombat. It just wouldn't make sense if I didn't. So I had to. Yeah, but if I had to rank this out of 10, I think I'll say a 7.5. There's just certain things that I can't really mesh well with it. Do I think that this movie is better than the original? No. I still think that Mortal Kombat 1995 is the best Mortal Kombat movie. Live action wise, once we get into like the MK Legends, I think Scorpion's Revenge and Battle of the Realms is definitely better than this, but we're gonna keep it live action. It's definitely better than Annihilation, and it's better than the 2021 movie, but it's still 95, bro. 95 is still the better movie. I think Mortal Kombat 2 looks better, of course, than the 95 one. They actually got the special moves. They actually got like the stages. It's rated R. They do the fatalities. The blood and gore is there. Like, it has things that makes it Mortal Kombat, but I just feel like the 95 movie understood certain things better. I had a good time. I did have a good time though. I like people who care about Mortal Kombat as much as I do. Tell Ed Boon, pick the writer. Make me the writer, bro. I'm being so that, like, I'm not even trying to ego trip or anything. I promise you. Ed, John Tobias, I will not only make sure that y'all baby is represented in the best way possible, but I will guarantee billions of dollars. I know the source material. Let me be a writer, bro. Again, look at my track record. Best Mortal Kombat game, already did it. Mortal Kombat versus Marvel game, already did it. If I was a James Gunn of Mortal Kombat, already did it. I've already proven on why I am the best choice to be the writer. Okay? No hate to the writer of this movie, but you know, I think I can make a movie better than you. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I've really just been bitching and yelling about Mortal Kombat for 2 hours. That's crazy. It's a good movie. I'm probably gonna watch it again. I gotta watch it again. So, yeah. I'm out.